We're live?
So we're gonna start streaming?
Oh, we're not live yet.
Alright. It's gonna be starting with.
So there we go. I'll minimize that. Have this.
So this is the mic, I guess, and then the camera is.
Yeah, this is the room mic. That's the stream mic.
Okay, okay.
Wait, do we have the audio?
And then.
Does it still work?
Yeah, we gotta hook. Do we have to hook that up too?
I mean, I don't think we need it, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
We
think
can hear
we'll-
pretty well with this.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Anywho, I think I'm ready to go.
I think, Clinton, I don't think we need the audience mic,
No,
dude.
there's
I
no
think we'll
batteries.
just stick
Last time I
without
checked,
it.
these were dead.
So this is the cam that they can see, your laptop camera?
Yeah,
Perfect.
So we have us in the corner.
Yeah, they can hear us talking about how.
Our stream is perfect.
Alright. Yeah, I guess we're good.
All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Wow, that was very. All right, welcome.
We're gonna
to
start. Go ahead.
ISSessions. This is the third, I think, strike sessions that's been going on. So welcome to everybody who came in once again. Just quick, I want to see a show of hands, really. Who actually went down to B-Sides or Sector over the last week? That's actually pretty damn
For
good.
the stream's sake, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 7.
Yeah. Awesome. So I don't think any of this was covered, but our guest today is, of course, Eugene, who is presenting at Sector. As soon as we take the news down, we will sort of let him at it here. Unfortunately, that will not be streamed. He has requested that this one go dark for our, really just our fun. So the stream will be signing off at that point there. Anyways, we are going to jump into the news.
So the theme of this week is, like the last couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about mostly vulnerabilities, because...
That's InfoSec.
Yeah, well, the InfoSec, yeah.
So, of course, the Verizon big old data breach investigations report was released fairly recently. Again, if you haven't read these historically, they're generally been very good. I believe Thraki even said last sessions that the quality has gone downhill somewhat, but they still have a lot of cool information if you are sort of interested in any of that incident response or forensics kind of stuff. Some statistics on just what the world is like at the moment and all the breach reports. Now, these aren't from surveys. These are from things they've actually gone through and basically pulled this data back from. These are real breaches. I think that was the page I was looking for here. So they actually started looking at the amount of time it takes different industries to actually patch some of these vulns once they're found, once they realize how people got in. And some of those numbers are actually terrible.
Yeah, education. I'm surprised that education is that low, and I'm surprised that healthcare is that high.
Well, you look at the
Which I
bottom
shouldn't be,
three
but-
there, and it's like public sector and finance, and that is not things I want to hear.
No, I really don't either. Because public sector means like municipal government most likely and local stuff, and that's just not good.
Anyways, if you do want to sort of read into what the last year has been like with regards to breaches, this is a good report for it. They even break it down by industry. They take you through all the phishing attempts, who gets phished the most. But we'll jump on to the story that won't end.
Kaspersky, good old Russians, eh? We never go away. All right. So you may remember that Kaspersky is currently being investigated, I believe, for allegations that its antivirus product basically helped Russian spies steal classified files from the NSA. But Kaspersky Labs kind of been doing their own analysis, and they have some findings for us about this computer that was allegedly sending data in. Turns out there was actually some malware on it. So this NSA worker downloaded a warranted copy of Microsoft Office Professional 2013, and it happened to come with a lovely little backdoor.
Sure did. Now, this developer for the NSA, was there to actually make malware. And he brought all this work home for some ungodly reason to put it on this unlicensed copy of Windows with bootleg software. And yeah, of course, as it turns out, it's just chock full of malware that wasn't his. So as this investigation keeps going, it just keeps getting funnier because the people that they were relying on to make these weaponized sort of pieces of malware were doing a very crap job.
Yeah, I hope this story like goes for another week, and I hope they're like the U.S. government responds or don't, but it would be nice.
All right.
Yeah, I think that was like the gist of the story. There's just the story continues, and that there may be more to it than just Kaspersky is sending data. It may be being sent somewhere else. And actually, I think it was being sent to China. I think that the IP was
Mostly,
Chinese.
yeah.
So that also is very.
All right. So the next really big thing that happened in the last 2 weeks is that the United States government finally pushed out their policy on sort of vulnerabilities.
Oh,
and
boy.
yeah. And the way they actually started talking about it is a very strange thing. They started referring to vulnerabilities as a kind of an equity, an actual like sort of tradable good that you can hold on to that may depreciate over time, which is a kind of a cool way to look at it. But it's also terrifying from what they have written, because they are sort of holding on to some of these very dangerous 0 days, and they say they will, but they'll make things a little bit more transparent.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The U.S. government and transparency.
Yeah, they're known for that.
Nah, yeah.
So a few people had hot takes, like Schneier. He was sort of happy that this is the direction they're going with, but he is a little worried about some of the phrasing. He finds a little bit, it's just a little underhanded, or there's still room to hide a lot of sort of unethical behavior in there. And we'll just kind of have to see over time how this goes, but it's looking a little shady, but good on them for jumping out so far.
Yeah, you know what? It's a step in the right direction, and it's at least like we finally have something concrete coming out from the U.S. government regarding how they treat vulnerabilities, even if it is as an equity, which, as Dave said, it is interesting, but it's also quite risky when you consider the implications that has.
Yep. So the EFF, they of course always sort of follow along with all the legal implications of everything connected to the internet these days. And they have sort of put forward their report on what they think this means and what it's going to be in the future. And that's always a nice read. Again, lovely people there. All right. And the next one, for the second ISSessions in a row,
Something like that.
we have Oracle putting out another emergency patch. Last one, I think, was